Well, in the last show, just 2 nights ago, there's been enough rumours since. Well, there's one big rumour, but it's big enough that I want to talk to Gonzo about it because it's a player I want to talk to Gonzo about. In the last show, we talked about Sebastian Haller. We said this is a big ticket transfer, a bit of a pipe dream, if you like. Well, we're now linked to someone else that is possibly just that. Now, to take you through the timeline, a rumour was West Ham was looking at Andre Gomes of Barcelona, who was, of course, on loan at Everton last season for approximately 18 million. Sky Sports today have reported that we have had an 18 million pounds bid rejected, but Claret and Hugh who have top sources, to quote them, have said that West Ham are willing to go up to 25 million, and they believe that he is a top target for Emmanuel Pellegrini in this transfer window. Gonzo, what's your thoughts on Andre Gomes, the rumours, etc., etc.?
Well, the rumours I can't keep up because I've no doubt that Claret and Hugh have been briefed today. By the way, no doubt at all. No doubt at all. If I phoned up and checked, they would be been briefed. But they were only briefed the other day to basically say that actually the board having nothing to do with it. Julius and Pellegrini are keeping their cards close to their chest and not telling anybody. So I find it hard to keep up with. I was going to make it. I find it quite tiring, but I don't. I click on it every day, and I do love a bit of transfer rumour, as you know. But it's what do you believe and when do you believe it? It's neither here nor there. The actual link to Gomes, I'm not surprised. Regular watchers of this channel will know that we've been saying for some time, funny enough, since the pre-season friendly against Man City a couple of seasons ago, that the midfield needs serious surgery. When we were being linked with striker upon striker very recently, I said I would be amazed if Pellegrini hasn't looked at the squad and decided that central midfield needs to be looked at seriously. That being said, we did a podcast the other night, and then we both said that we actually wouldn't mind it all thrown on Haller. But I think that was because at the time we were talking about people like Delph and people like that, and we didn't mind the central midfield being filled up with a little loan signing or something if we could spend 40-50 million on a striker. That being said, Gomes is a different level. He's a different caliber, isn't he, Geo? And I know he's somebody that excites you an awful lot, mate.
Yeah, I watched Everton. Everton were probably the team I watched second most last season behind West Ham, actually. They seem to be on TV a lot as well. And he always just stood out. You just watch that Everton team. And that Everton team have got damn good players in it with Sigurdsson and Idrissa Gueye next to it, etc. But when you watch Gomes on the ball, you just thought he's got it. He has that ability. He can control the tempo of a game. There was sometimes I watched him though that he was a bit lazy. I did watch Everton sometimes and he got hauled off on the hour mark or whatever. And I thought, well, it's probably the right sub because he's not really done anything. That is a slight concern, but that's probably why he's 25 million and not 50 million because he doesn't turn up every single week. But when he does turn up, he is just utter class, and we've seen it. Everyone watching this seen it because he did it at the London Stadium against us. He ran the show against us as Everton, tore us apart, and he was pivotal in that win. I stand by that Haller comment, by the way, that 45 million for Haller, break the bank. I stand by that. And we spoke about Delph. We said, is Delph a £7-8 million upgrade on Obiang? Because that would be the net cost. Question now is Andre Gomes an 18-20 million pounds upgrade in Obiang? Yes, I think he is. He's the right age as well. He's in his mid-20s, so he's got plenty of time on his side. He can do it in the Premier League. We have seen him do it in the Premier League for Everton, so there's no question marks over there. Everton have almost done the trial for us. They've done the risk, and we've gone, yeah, that works. I don't think we'll get him. I'll be surprised if we get him. We've tested the waters. I think what we've done now is just put every other club that was looking at him on alert to say, right, ball's moving, time to get serious. So Spurs were looking at him. I do think he'll end up at Spurs. I think he looks like a Spurs player. I think it's someone that's an area that Spurs need to improve quite a lot on. But it's a cynic to say that transfer renewal day is on Friday.
Yeah, but everyone said that last year with the Felipe Anderson stuff. I mean, that was what was being said. We're being linked to this player for 30-40 million quid and transfer renewals. Season ticket renewals. I'm not saying it's beyond the owner's remit to do that. Of course, I know it is. But if you're going to look at history, you've got to look at all the history and not just some of it. And I do remember that being said last season. And we did actually go out and buy him. if you're going to be conspiratorial about this, and the conspiracy theory there would be, as you're suggesting, that we release a big name to get season tickets up, and actually we're really not interested in him, you've got to sort of accept that Pellegrini is in on it, this conspiracy. And I just, he seems like a man of honor. I don't think he's in. I don't think there is a conspiracy. I don't think he's going to start duping the fans. I just don't think that that's the case. I've also thought that it would come, and not just because the article was on Claret and Hugh. I've said quite consistently that I do think there will be targets that come left of field that we don't know about, that don't get leaked, and maybe this is one of them.
But it's maybe just been leaked.
Sorry?
But it's just been leaked.
But there was no build up. This is the point. It hasn't been on any of those. Hugh didn't break it. X didn't break it. I think it was in the Sunday Times or something like that. So I don't know. We discussed before about us not leaking it. So I don't think the leak has come from our end. It appears the leak has come from the other end. So I think it's a possibility. I don't know any workings about Tottenham. I understand that they are in for De Celso, something like that. DeCilio, I can't remember. Celeriac, Celery, something like that. I don't know. They're in for somebody else, apparently. The thing is with Gomes is I do think he's a very, very good player, and I think he would suit us well. He's one of the few genuinely two-footed players. You don't see too many genuinely two-footed players. He will pass or shoot with the ball with either foot, comfortable on either side. Very, very quick footwork. But he's not someone that's going to offer you tons and tons of goals from central midfield. He's not quite deep enough to be known as a defensive midfielder, if you like, and he doesn't quite attack enough to be known as an attacking midfielder. So he is just a central midfielder, and I think that's why his cost is quite low. He was the future when Barcelona paid big bucks for him, but he still is a quality player, and that player that we're talking about that can pass the ball around in midfield and score lots of goals. It's probably called Paul Pogba anyway, and we can't afford him. So it's about as good a player as West Ham can really hope to attract, I think. And I do think if the rumours are true, and they might not be, I do think we would have a chance of getting him. Why not? Why wouldn't we?
I think we've got to move quick if we want him. We've obviously moved quite quick. It's still in May. When we've put a bid in, allegedly, and had it not back, fair enough. But I think this is where we need to go again, and we need to go again pretty quick. I think I'd like to see us go back with another offer put on the table, show intent to the player vending that we are deadly serious about getting you. We're not messing about here. We're going to keep increasing our bid until they accept it. The rumored price tag is between 25 and 35 million. It's a very big price tag, having a 10 million gap in there. So in that rule of thumb, it's quite understandable going 7 million under the lower estimate. They're going to give a 10 million difference. Well, we'll take the 7 million difference and go under there. But I do think they need to act quick. I don't think this is a season ticket renewal thing. I've said it to you before. I don't believe anyone ever renews a season ticket based on who we've been linked with in the newspaper. I find it weird that there's people out there that think it actually happens. I've not renewed yet because I'm just a bit petty. I will cut my nose off to spite my face, and that's going to renew as late as possible. But at no point have I seen Andre Gomes and thought, you know what, I'm going to log on now and renew quick just in case we get Andre Gomes. It doesn't happen. This guy's talented. I would be delighted to see him come. And something, I keep talking about the next level, and it gets a bit boring or something such like, but this guy is a next level signing. I do believe that. I think this guy is one of those that you could build your team around a little bit, that you could see him and Declan Rice sort of being a really strong two in midfield, and it would give Pellegrini lots of options. If we're to go 4-3-3, he's got Wilshere, Lanzini, Noble that you can slip in there. And if he was to go 4-2-3-1, Gomez has been playing in 4-2-3-1 all season with Idrissa Gueye just behind Sigurdsson. So I think that's a formation Pellegrini wants to play, by the way, at West Ham. I think he wants to play 4-2-3-1. He's just struggling to get the players to do it. Gomez has been playing in a centre pair all season. It fits. It's like why you mentioned it a few times. That's why he went and got Diop. When he said, why did you get Diop? He said, because he's been playing a high line defence all his career, so he knows how to play the way I want to play. This is the thing with Gomez. He's been doing what I think Pellegrini wants to do. He's more mobile than Martin Noble. Bless him. But I hope this is true.
Why, out of interest, why why would you think Everton wouldn't take him up? Can you think any reason in there? You've watched them
Well,
closely.
I think Everton do want him as well. This is why I'm saying we need to move quick. I think this might jolt Everton into action. I do think we'll have competition. I think, but it might turn into a bidding war. It might be who Andre Gomes. Now, when we do these shows, we don't use a live chat. But I'm just going to pick up a comment on the live chat now and throw it out there. Then we'll move on to the next rumor because there's an Everton fan in the live chat, and he basically said that Gomes is worth every penny of 25 million. And he also says the word up there in Liverpool, obviously, is that Gomes wants London. Now, if that's true, then that sort of gives us the edge already. That gives us something that Everton literally cannot offer. You can. I also think we pay more wages than Everton. I think we do. I think we pay.
Well, they've got a rich benefactor. They've got their owners are very rich. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to rein in. I could be wrong. I think they're trying to rein in their sort of wage structure at the minute because they went a little bit silly when they first got taken over. They just started buying willy-nilly, bringing all these players in. And I think it got to the point it was sort of like we're leaking money here, and players like Sandro and Klaassen and all that had to be sold or go out on loan or both. They've even got that Onyekuru. Remember we were linked with him?
Yeah, the Nigerian fella. Yeah. He was in Belgium. Yeah.
Still can't even get a work permit. So
really, he was good. He was a good player. And they bought Balassi for huge money, and he's barely played for Everton, has he? He must be on a lot of wages. Good player again.
He's in Belgium now.
Is he really?
Yeah, Genk. I think it's Genk he plays for, Genk or Ghent anyway. It's one of the two. He's just played for them. He played for Villa in between as well, so you're about 2 clubs behind.
But he still belongs to Everton. They paid 30 million quid for him.
I believe he is still an Everton player on paper. I could be wrong though. Anyway, Andre Gomes, 25 million. Is that a yes, please, from yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, happily taken.
What about 30 million?
Well, we discussed the Haller the other day, and before that, we had discussed not splashing the money on 5 or 6 players, and I think 2 players is an agreement. So I guess that's really up to Julius and Pellegrini on that, because if they have got a set amount to spend, I would imagine they're probably looking to do the same thing. So only they know how much they can go up to then leave them enough money for the striker that they clearly would like to get. I believe Sato Berahino's available on a free transfer if you wanted to bulk up the squad, so to speak. 30 million, it depends what they bring in. If what we've got, let's say, is 50 million, and we take the sales and the saved wages, if what we got is 50 million, 55 million, I would imagine 25 is probably the upper limit, and for that reason, I don't blame them at all for going in with 18. I'm trying to buy a microphone on eBay at the moment, Geo. It's 80 quid to buy it now. I'm going in at 50 quid, and then we will work our way up. So I don't blame them for doing what they're doing.
I'm going to apply. I've decided I'm going to call it my Sadio Mane theory. Remember when I keep saying it to you, Klopp wanted Mane. The type of player he wanted was Mane, so they paid probably over the odds at the time, but they got the exact player they needed. Now look at it. So I'm going to apply my Sadio Mane theory to Andre Gomes and say I think that is exactly the type of player Pellegrini needs. I don't think there is such a thing as too expensive for Andre Gomes if it does work out, etc. So if it even went up to 35 and a lot of people goes, hang on, that's expensive. If it is the exact player Pellegrini needs and wants, I don't think there is such a thing as too much for him. There's not many people I would say that about, but I do think Gomes is just, there's something about him. He's got class. 2 or 3 other little rumours, but on the West Ham transfer rumour, that's exactly what we discussed there. Now, Gonzo, have you heard of a player called Fortunis?
Costa Paketovic. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's very expensive.
Have you been you've been watching Olympiacos?
Costa Fortune. Yeah, he's wonderful. No, I haven't got a clue. Okay. He's got a funny sounding name. He's got an expensive, expensive sounding name, hasn't he?
50 million attacking midfielder. Some reports suggest that we are in for him, and that's the price tag. But I think this one we can dismiss for now anyway. But
we don't need an attacking midfielder.
Well, that's what I thought. But I thought the interesting thing here is we've also been linked with our left back. So you'd imagine we are looking strongly at a Olympiacos player. And I think they're trying to piece together which Olympiacos player. So they're probably looking at the ones that are maybe well sought after, or the ones that are sort of like, linked with a few players, or there perhaps has been bids from other clubs for that player, thinking, well, maybe West Ham are after that player too. I wouldn't be surprised there's an Olympiacos player that we've just never heard of and we've not been linked to yet, that they're keeping their eye on, thinking, I wonder if he can come over. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a 22-year-old striker or something. I don't know. I don't know any Olympiacos players. So I think keep an eye on that club. Maybe not this rumour, but that club, because there might be something more to come in the summer from there. Devastating news, though, or you could say a big relief. It was reported on Sunday, I think, that we've lost out on the race to sign Danny Welbeck.
I
mean, that's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's it's tragedy. It's tragic, really. And who's he gone to?
Apparently, he's going to Everton.
Oh, crikey! They are tightening the purse strings, then, aren't they?
This is newspaper rumours, obviously, so there's probably not much to it. But how amusing would it be if we get Gomez and they end up with Danny Welbeck?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to rub it in, because you say there's a poor Everton fan in the chat there, but yeah, I mean, it would maybe not. Why would they do that? I don't know why they would do that. Having said that, I always get the suspicion that any time he can, Gareth Southgate will try and select Danny Welbeck for the England squad. That being said, there's a lot of good young wide players coming up. It never really happened for Danny. To be fair, Fergie didn't really fancy him. Wenger signed him, but only really used him as a substitute. Suffered a lot of injuries. You're not going to, if you buy Danny Welbeck, you're not suddenly going to get some spring chicken and somebody who's a fit player who's going to play 50 games a season. He's not. You're going to get an injury-prone striker. So I'd like to think that the link wasn't accurate anyway. I'm pretty damn sure we were never in for Danny Welbeck.
He's got to be away to Aston Villa. That is an Aston Villa signing if I've ever seen one. He's free, by the way. He's out of contract at Arsenal, hence the link. I think he's only played, it's funny you say 50 games. I think that's how many games he played in 4 seasons at Arsenal, I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's how many appearances he's made. He's actually given Andy Carroll a good run for his money here. Andy Carroll suddenly looks like good value when you compare it to Danny Welbeck. The last transfer rumour, which, I don't know, Gonzo's been watching a lot of French football. Lorient, a 20-year-old attacking midfielder, Alexis Claude Maurice. I like that name.
No, I don't like him. I don't know him. I don't know him. So I don't like him. A bit harsh, isn't it? No, the one I've been watching is Alan San-Maxine. Very good.
But anyway, Alexis Claude Maurice has been linked to us. No price has been specified. But he's been linked to us in Arsenal as well. And he's friends with Arsenal sideshow Bob midfielder. And he was at that guy's house during the week. They were posting pictures of themselves together as well. So he is in London. So whether he's here on a holiday or he's actually here to move to a Premier League club. But apparently him and there's a Toulouse midfielder, I can't remember his name. Apparently those two players have been quoted as saying that Issa Diop has actually sort of inspired them to want to move to the Premier League.
I know the guy. Yeah, Diop's mate. I saw the report for that one.
Yeah. There's two. This guy and the Diop's mate from Toulouse have said that Diop going to the Premier League at such a young age and sort of tearing it up, if you like, said actually we can now go to the Premier League as well. So it's encouraged them. So be interesting to keep your eyes on that one. Any other transfer rumours you have seen in the last 48 hours or so?
Not without making them up, mate. No.
Well, other people do, so you'd be just as well join the club as rather than outside it looking in. But anyway, myself and Gonzo will be back in the not so distant future. I'm sure transfer rumours are coming thick and fast. We'll be looking at doing another stream on the second channel because someone's kindly donated £5 to the channel and asked a question which has got nothing really to do with West Ham specifically. So I'll take a note of it and we'll try and do a stream at some other point where we will include that question and get it answered. Anyway, leave your comments below, mainly about Andre Gomes. We're obviously big fans of him. He's been banded about 25 million is the price tag. Would you like to see him come in? Bearing in mind, just to give it context, that West Ham's budget is apparently about £5 million more than that. So you'd be pretty much using up all your money before player sales, etc. But leave your comments below. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Myself, Gonzo, and some other people from House Chat. We'll see you in a bit.